Welcome everybody into a special, very special episode of the City Pitches podcast.
Couldn't get more special.
It couldn't get more special.
Birthday episode.
It's the Meech birthday episode. Let's clap it up. Mark's here. Mark's flyered up. He's next to us. We are the Meech's B-Day party cam. We're down a couple guys. We may have Tom. Fink got a last-minute business situation. He's got a business situation at the Sixers game. We can't really fault him for that. That's what he said, at least. So we'll take him at his word. This does feel like
he's selling Franklin drugs.
He would do that, but they would be bad drugs because he would sabotage Franklin. Meech hates Franklin. Everyone knows that.
I could give a shit less about Franklin. Fink hates Franklin.
That's what I'm saying. Fink hates Franklin. So they would be bad drugs. My bad. I slipped.
Don't slander
Meech is on the brain. I've been thinking about you all day. I'm thinking about you and how it's your birthday and how I just want to make this special. And so my bad, dude. I'm just trying to make it great for you and whatever.
But don't say I hate something that I have no feelings towards.
Fair enough. Thank you for clarifying.
Yep.
Now it does feel a little bit like almost a violation on our part, right? Because as we sit here, we do have the Sixers game on in the background. I didn't know whether to say playoff game. We were kind of debating this.
No, if it doesn't say playoffs on the hardwood, it's not a playoff game. So it's a play-in tournament.
And if you're not in the 8 seeds, that's when the playoffs start. This is like the first 4 in the tournament. I don't consider those teams to be in the tournament, although I guess they have a chance. Mark, what do you think about this? You're a lawyer. You know, deal with this kind of BS formalities all the time. What do you think?
There's a lot of gray area. They actually do consider the teams that win the first 4 having won an NCAA tournament game. But I don't know that they consider this a playoff game.
Here's an easy way to decide. Do these stats, are they just out in like the cloud after this game, or do they become playoff statistics?
That's actually a really good point.
I think they're just like the game didn't exist after this.
Right.
Or do they have play-in tournament leaders of all time?
I'm sure, but who's really desperate enough to go searching for those?
You know, that's a real... Okay, so here's what we're going to do after this. Well, we could look that up right now.
Let's get our statistician to look this up.
Statistician Jimmy, could you please...
Jimmy.
But wouldn't we be able to tell if we search NBA playoff stats and there were stats from last night's games? So that's maybe something we can get on with our crack staff. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Now we've got Above the Rim 215 says, why isn't Meech wearing a birthday hat? Why do I feel like we should know who Above the Rim 215 is?
I'm just thankful that you're not wearing your birthday suit.
Yeah, that's for sure. In his final form. I've been thinking a lot about your comment about your final form. It's just
I think about it every morning when I wake up.
It's just funny.
You know what's funny? I've actually been thinking about it every morning when I
it's like
to get out of the shower.
Yeah, do I try and get healthy, or do I continue in my gluttonous ways?
Oh, it's so good. Well, we didn't exactly have a birthday hat, but we did have a hat of sorts on the thumbnail cover for this episode, which I just learned Meech had not seen. He didn't realize I had done this to him. And Mark, had you seen this?
I did see it. It gave me the same chuckle out loud when I was by myself.
So the episode tonight is called Ode to MEECHkov. And I did one of my probably, this is the best I could do with the amount of time I have. We have Meech's face over Matvey MEECHkov on the ice, and it's not a great Photoshop, but I kind of like it. Meech, what are your thoughts on this image?
I hate it. Back in the day, you remember Roman Chekmanov?
Yes.
Chekmanic?
The Chekmanic, is that?
Yeah.
No, Chekmanov.
Chekmanov?
Yeah, I thought it was Chekmanov. Well, anyway, he was a Flyers goalie. He wasn't a very good-looking man, and people used to tell me I looked like him. It was so insulting.
Oh, man. Dude, that's so good.
But whatever.
So, I love the number 39, but I've been torn about this whole MEECHkov thing because is like wearing a MEECHkov jersey like wearing a Putin jersey?
I don't know what that means.
Why? Because he's from Russia?
Yeah, but he's like really Russian.
I don't know.
Isn't that prejudice? If you'd think like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How do you know? You don't know what half these guys are even like. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure.
Just freaking enjoy the run, man. Don't worry about
seriously,
that.
I'm enjoying the run.
Don't worry about that.
Like wearing a Putin jersey. That's wild.
I don't know. I'm
telling you it's not. It's
okay,
not
great. I thank you, because maybe I'll go buy one this week. I'm enjoying the run. Do you know how many times I've Googled when the first playoff game is going to be? And what's crazy about the NHL season, like the other sports, they end them all at like the same time.
Yeah.
The NHL season doesn't end until tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Flyers ended yesterday. It's weird.
Yeah. I guess that.
I mean, that's like basketball. I
Might
thought
be a
was
day or
weird.
two.
Where last Saturday the whole league took off, and then they had a final day on Sunday.
At 6
like,
p.m.
Like it's some big holiday, and half the teams sat their rosters,
Look.
played G leaguers, 10-day contract guys, or sat their players after the first quarter. It was what a ridiculous.
Look, I
league.
solved the mystery about above the rim 2-on-5. It's rock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, baseball went to the 3
Is-
p.m. for everyone. In the
Is
last day
that
of the
in
year.
reference to the movie or that he can dunk? Like,
I don't know, but we have to also say our freaking brother from another mother, Trevor,
yeah, happy
appears to be
birthday
here.
to my B-Day twin.
Yeah.
Trevor and Meech have the same birthday, and we just
I wonder
figured
if
it
we're
out.
the same age. Was he born on Easter like I was? I was born on Easter Sunday in 1979.
That's a really good question. He wasn't born that early.
Baby
but,
Jesus.
He's not as old as me.
No. How do you feel about being born on what? Was it always tax day your whole life, or did
Yeah, well,
yeah,
April 15th is always tax day,
the
but
day that everyone pretty much hates?
I think my I mean,
I mean, if it's over
yeah,
or not, if you got like an extension or some crap like that, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Doesn't go
I don't,
one way or
I
the
don't
other for you?
mind being associated with tax day,
No?
whatever.
Okay, that's fair. Well, Meech,
I'll share with my birthday with taxes.
Trev says
You can share your refund?
a Tuesday in
Yeah, I'll-
'86.
I'll share
he
my
was born.
refund with you.
Tuesday in '86. So you got
86.
7 years on him.
86. Jesus.
I know,
Christ.
you forget.
So he's 40, right?
He's just turned. He turned 40 today.
Like,
it's his 40th.
This afternoon. Happy 40th.
Wow,
I
dude.
forgot that it was his 40th. Trev,
That's,
catching
that's
up.
a milestone birthday.
That is a milestone.
You know, when you're like young and 5 or 6 years between you and somebody else is like a ton, and then by the time you get old, it doesn't matter anymore. That's where we're getting to, Trev. So I know he's
Yeah,
always thought he was so much
I
younger
think
than me.
my view of age is jaded because I had started having kids at such a young age. So I never gave a shit how old I was since I was like 28. Since I had my second kid, I was like, what the hell's it? Age is insignificant. You're just, you're old and they're going to age you quickly. And then the more kids I have, I'm like, shit, I'm only 47. I should be like 64.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm dead. Yeah.
I feel like I only have a few birthdays left, but
Oh,
you,
God
man.
forbid, dude.
I
You got a
don't
lot
know.
left.
It's all relative. It's
Yeah.
all relative. Yeah, so it feels a little sacrilegious having a show while one of our teams is in a pseudo playoff game, but we just kind of had to.
what if nobody has hope for this team in the long run? Is it that sacrilegious?
So here's a question I got to ask, because I was thinking about this in terms of the Sixers and where they're at and the Flyers and where they're at. Now, you have one team who is on the verge of, I guess, or is in the playoffs or may potentially make the playoffs, who I think in large part the city feels no real emotional investment connection to, and is really not giving them much credit for anything at this point. And then you have another team that people are, and I just want to be honest.
That was in reference to the Sixers.
That was a reference to Sixers. And I just want to be honest about this, right? Like, people are acting like it's the greatest thing that ever happened, that the Flyers made the playoffs, just got into the playoffs, right?
I think
and now
it's
this is a team that hasn't won a Stanley Cup since the 1970s and has been terrible for the most part for as long as we can remember, has broken our heart many times. And it's just interesting to me. Like, I understand people are excited about the fact that they are going to be in the playoffs, but the juxtaposition of the two teams, part of me is feeling like, is that even fair? And the truth is this: it is fair based on, I feel like, the organization that is the Sixers and the leadership, right, and what they've carried out. I don't know that it's fair, like, to Maxey, for example. I don't feel like it's fair. And as I watch the Sixers play, you know, and I had completely written them off and just said, this isn't, you know, I just don't think this is going anywhere. I'm not even going to like get invested in this. I feel bad because I love Maxey. I love Edgecombe, right? So I feel kind of bad for those guys. But people are making a big deal about the Flyers, you know, and part of me is like, is this a double standard of sorts here? What do you guys think?
I just think people are starving for Flyers hockey. Personally, they've waited for this, and this is the perfect storm to be dangerous in the playoffs when nobody really expect. Like 2 weeks ago, people were like, the Flyers, they probably won't make the playoffs, or it was up in the air. And then that after that Easter game, like, it started to get serious, especially when you saw Porter Martone, and
Yeah,
like,
that injected some energy.
It really did. And I don't know if you watched the game the other night against Winnipeg, but it had like a playoff feel to it. And I mean, you just or was that the Carolina or when they were down 2-0? And
that was Carolina.
And then they came back, tied it up, and that third period, it just felt like playoff hockey. The atmosphere, and I know there won't be shootouts in the playoffs, but that to get to the playoffs that way, that was cool as shit, man.
Yeah,
I love the goalie. It's just a real, and if they lose in the first round 4-2 to the Penguins, no one's going to be mad at this team. This is the perfect scenario that a Philly team could be in, where everyone kind of counted them out at the deadline. Everyone wanted to give up everybody, Ristolainen, just give everybody up, because what's the point?
Such a good name. You can't give up Ristolainen.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about this in terms of like a theme for the episode tonight, and I was actually going to call it, before I came up with the brilliant image with Meech's face on it and called it Ode to MEECHkov, I was thinking about calling it Processed or Organic. And I was thinking to myself, is that a fair characterization? Meaning, we know that the baggage of the process and the Embiid stuff and everything that's gone on has made everybody just fatigued. And, we just don't believe without them in full health that they can actually do something. Is it fair, though, to call what the Flyers have done organic? Because I was remembering, I feel like they were almost tanking for a bit, but they certainly went, in hiring Jonesy, in hiring Briere, in hiring Tocchet. You know what I mean? I guess you could call that, kind of betting on, that's very different than Josh Harris to me, and I know there are some local guys in that ownership, but it just doesn't feel like the same. So Mark, do you think that's fair to call, the Flyers like more organic as compared to the Sixers, whose organization has really kind of rubbed us the wrong way over time?
I think it's completely fair. And I think that there's an energy around the team that just feels different. Yeah. It feels like it's growing and blossoming, and that they are on the arc towards getting better. And the Sixers feel, just more of the same, but even worse of the same. I also think it's a product of where the two leagues are this year. The NHL is really benefiting from the Olympics and how exciting that was, and viewership's up, and people are really into hockey. And so the Flyers are coming along at the right time. And they also seem to have an amazing joy of playing the game together. The Sixers do not emanate that joy. And at the same time, the fact that the Sixers are the 7th best team in the Eastern Conference just speaks volumes to the lack of quality of play in the NBA overall this year. And so I think you see a team like the Flyers that are sneaking into the playoffs, but look like a really good hockey team. And you see the Sixers, who are the 7th team in the East, and they look like a bad basketball team. And so I think that it's just sort of that, Philly sports fans are smart, and they know what looks good and they know what looks like shit. And the Flyers look good. And I actually think they're a really dangerous team going into the playoffs. And I know that's very cliche right now. But anything can happen in hockey. There's 0% chance that the Sixers advance deep into the playoffs. It just doesn't happen. And I actually think the Flyers are going to beat the Penguins. I think they're actually going to do it relatively easily. And I think we're going to see the Flyers looking young and fast and talented. And the Penguins are, even though they've gotten in the playoffs and people didn't expect it, I think they're going to look older and slower against the Flyers. And it's going to be either 4-2 or 4-1 Flyers, and they're moving on.
You know what, Meech? This guy knows puck, I feel like.
Yeah.
We might need, I know we suggested Rocky on hockey because it rhymes, but that's going to be worthless. We got to think of some clever way, Mark, to get, you can have a hockey segment, and maybe we'll find a law firm to sponsor it.
There you go.
It's just something. It's just something to think about. But you made a great point there. The Olympics reminded us how great of a game hockey is when everything matters and it's on the line. And these guys, who, by the way, play pretty damn hard on a night in, night out basis, when they're playing for their lives, if you will, it's one of the greatest games. It may be one of, I think watching a playoff hockey game is
hockey fucking rules.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And no matter who's playing, but when it's the Flyers, man, it's like anxiety. It's like watching,
because it's so hard to
a
score.
thriller mystery movie for 3 hours. Like you're on the edge of your seat every change of possession, every line change, every shot. It's awesome.
And we're very lucky, all things considered, to have gone from the Olympics and the excitement with that right into this. And, I feel like over the past couple of years, it's been it's been a routine occurrence that the Flyers show signs of life, and then it just goes like horribly sideways, and you're just like, and it started to feel like that. And the fact that it didn't go that way is awesome.
And
so,
fellas, I don't know.
I think you're right, Jesse. Like, people want Keith Jones to succeed. People want Danny Briere to succeed.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody
but
wants
they wanted
Josh Harris
to succeed. They wanted all the old Flyers who have come in and taken leadership positions.
Yeah, but he's not drawing a comparison to that. He's drawing a comparison to Josh Harris. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And by the way, those guys obviously don't own the team. Right. So
no, but they've actually done a great job of, like, you don't even really know who owns the team. And, the guy who was at Independence Blue Cross, Dan Hilferty, is like sort of running the team, but he also is doing a great job of like taking a back seat and deferring, and he doesn't seek the spotlight and he doesn't try to be the man.
But I think, to your point, right, here's a good example. I don't think anyone is like, and there probably are people like this, but not a lot. Are they like, I really hope Daryl Morey succeeds? Do you know what I mean? Like,
in the grand scheme of things, when I'm thinking about the team, I don't think about the upper management. I don't think about the coach most of the time. And I sure as hell don't think about the owner or the general manager when I'm thinking about playoffs and rooting for the team. That is all stuff to discuss afterwards when the season's over. And if you see the owner's dumb face, I can separate. Like, I don't think about Josh Harris when I'm rooting for the Sixers.
But if Allen Iverson was the general manager and, Maurice Cheeks was the owner and all these things, you would feel a different way about the Sixers. And I think there is some of that with the Flyers.
Like, for example, I want Elton Brand. Like, I root for Elton Brand, right? As a result of the fact that I'd like it. He's a great player, played for Sixers. I just thought he's a good guy. I think the difference here, Meech, in establishing the contrast between the two organizations, Josh Harris has overseen, I think, the entirety of the process period, right? So clearly he was on board with that strategy, and we've heard him talk a lot. When he came in, he already owned the Devils, which was like, you got to be kidding me. Then he gets the Commanders. I start seeing it with Magic Johnson. I mean, it's a totally different, like, I do think about that. You know what I mean? Like that. I'm not.
Yeah, but guys like that, this is an investment, and that's it. They have no heart in it. They don't care. So.
Okay, but they do impact what happens with the team, which is what I'm saying. Like, that's
to a certain point. I mean, in basketball, here's the reality. You have a salary cap that you have to navigate. And no matter what the owner says, you have to have a GM good enough to do it, a coach smart enough to put a team together. Like, look at the Celtics, man. Look at what Joe Mazzulla does with this team. They lost Tatum for the year. Everyone thought they were going to miss the playoffs, and they didn't skip a beat. They're the number 2 seed. And now they got Tatum back, and they're – but if
we win this game, we get to play them.
My point is, the owner doesn't impact that. That the owner maybe can dictate who's in charge of those areas, but it's all luck after that, man.
When you like say something or do something, and then you realize like you piss someone else off, that feeling where you're like, oh, or like you said something you almost feel like you shouldn't have said. Well, inevitably, when you're in the
every day.
Constantly.
When you have a podcast and you say things about sports, that can happen. And last night put up something that said like, oh, you don't really want to focus in too much on the Sixers game or something like that, forgetting that I have a relatively close friend that works for the Sixers who commented on it. With
so they take it personally.
Yeah. See, but here's the thing. But hold on. I felt bad, right? Because I'm like, oh man, like that's your job. You're trying to make this like narrative that I'm here saying go away, but keeping it real, that's how everybody feels. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you can't make somebody feel guilty about trying to get a joke off on Twitter. Come on.
Well, you know what I mean.
I was like, oh, I think it's a shitty thing,
but that's how everyone feels. Look, I just feel like people aren't that pumped up. Like I do hope the Sixers do well, but I'm not.
I try to be conscious of those things. I'm with you, Jesse, but listen, there are a lot of like 99% of the people working for the team are putting blood, sweat, and tears into it. And, just trying to earn a living and the team's success is their success. So,
right.
So I feel that. And the better the team does, the better it is for the city.
Yeah.
I feel that. They're just not a likable team right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know this Barlow guy. I don't even know his first name. I mean,
Dominic. He's a local
Dom.
Yep.
Dom from South Philly.
I'm not hating on Barlow. I'm just like
know.
The fact that this is who we're rolling out in maybe it's a playoff game is
He's
insane.
been pretty good. Now, guess who's staying a few blocks away from PPG Paints Arena this weekend when the Flyers visit the Pittsburgh Penguins?
You are.
Meechie's in Pittsburgh for a little AAU action. The Pit Jams going down.
Of course, we don't know if the game's Saturday or Sunday yet because they won't.
Yeah, but I'm going to be down there all weekend.
You know what it's time for, Meech? It's time to bring back out that Aramark costume and head right in there.
I was thinking of bringing a suit and like a microphone with like a ESPN flag on it and trying to sneak in that way.
Just dress like a Primanti Bros worker or something.
There you go.
I don't know. Well,
I'll dress like the sausage from their sausage race.
Are the Pirates home this weekend? You gonna go to PNC?
Yeah, and Saturday is Paul Skeen's Cy Young bobblehead day. It's going to be packed.
See if you can grab me one of those.
I wonder though, because Pittsburgh has obviously been to a bunch of playoffs, won Stanley Cups, and it's kind of the end of that run. Would it be easier to get tickets? Are they gonna be less expensive, or is it because like it could be like Crosby, some of his last games? Is it going to?
Well, here's the thing. I checked the fans of Philly
pitching
package.
Saturday, by the way. He pitched Monday.
He'll be pitching
Saturday.
Yeah,
that's
Monday. The point, right?
I mean, I think they usually try and do that. But, yeah.
Okay.
What the hell was I saying?
We were talking about going to the game and whether it would be accessible. I think you were. Oh, you said fans of Philly. You're talking about fans of Philly.
I looked at the fans of Philly package for the game, and it's less than $500 for a bus ticket and a ticket to the game lower level. So it can't be too expensive.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking of, depending on when my son's games are and when the Flyers game is, contacting with Joe from Fans of Philly.
Joe,
yeah. Remember when we went on the bus trip to Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Charlie Manuel sent us off.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And I was thinking of hitting up Joe and seeing if they have any
extra. Well, what do you got to lose?
Nothing.
You know,
I got
there was a time
nothing to lose
when we really were in our heyday where we used to get on.
But that would be pretty
trips,
sick going to the playoff game in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it would.
So there's going to be a remote birthday wish here from our crew. We were supposed to have a birthday party, so let's bring them on because.
Meech, the get in the door price right now on StubHub for 2 seats is $220 a ticket, including fees.
Oh, that's not
terrible.
Super cheap. Anyway, let's bring them in.
My reaction was not terrible.
Tommy Donuts is in the house.
TD.
Meechy, happy birthday, baby.
Thanks, my man. Wish you were here.
I was hoping to be there, but the trials and tribulations of having too many damn kids.
I get it.
Would you say that you're on the treadmill of life, Tom?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I mean, Mark, you know the drill too. Like last weekend, we had 9 games, like all week. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, I got one son that I, take to every sporting thing, and anybody that has 2, let alone 5, I don't get that at all. You must have like a matrix or something. Do you guys have a schedule on the wall?
Yeah, listen, my wife hand draws a schedule each week. Monday with listed everybody's shit. Tuesday, and then she puts it on the refrigerator. And all week, like I'm constantly referring to it. Like, all right, so if she's here, I got to be here, and
stressful.
there.
So and so can pick them up there.
Yeah, it's a very complicated. But like tonight, for example, it was nice because I dropped the twins off to batting practice, which was from 6 to 7:30. And then I got my oldest son, who's not in the mix to drive around anymore. He's got his own car. He does his own thing. So I said, hey, Joe, you mind picking the twins up? So now he's in the mix as part of the.
You did tell that. We talked about the twins story before the episode, and you actually told it on the episode. I like that. Twin story. We need more twins content.
That's what I need more children of age capable of driving to help split up some of these duties because it is.
You got to find a youngster.
And then I have a 17-year-old who has no interest in driving. I find it fascinating. Like he has no interest in getting his license.
I respect that.
Hasn't even asked, or like we've encouraged him, and he's like, nah, not really.
That's great. Sorry, can't take you anywhere. Can't drive, but I'll drive. I'll go with you.
Right.
Tom, what do you think about the fact that we're having this episode during the Sixers game? Is that a violation outright? Doesn't matter. Who cares? Where are you at on that?
It doesn't matter. Who cares? Are people
Flat
upset?
out.
I mean,
People shouldn't be
I
upset.
think the City Pigeons schedule
No.
is more concrete than an NBA schedule. We can't.
I agree.
Yeah. Why should we change?
Right.
They should change for us.
We've changed too much. Like my buddy texted me earlier. He's like, it seems like it's pretty quiet over there. I'm like, I don't want to say we don't care, but like, it's a play-in game of a team that we've been scorned by and a city we've been scorned by, minus the Eagles, for years now. And I think until nobody has any real expectations of them making it out of the first round. I mean, I think the Celtics would take us behind. They'll crush us. So, I mean, it's tough to get excited for a playing game when we know there's no championship possibility.
It would be interesting if they win this game. If they somehow manage to beat the Celtics, it would put us all in a pretty tough position.
Let me say this. What I do want, though,
tough
is I do want
because
one series. Just let us get a series. Let VJ get his legs underneath of him. Let's get involved. We got to make it out and play in.
If they beat the Celtics, everyone will be so hyped, man. Like, it would be awesome. But
We
I just
go
don't
crazy.
think they can, and I'm not hopeful that they can. But if they do, man, it would be great.
I'll feel, fraudulent.
No,
I will.
You can't.
No. We would all be all over.
Listen, we're allowed to be pissed and feeling underwhelmed with our sports teams. It's, we earned that, putting in this much time watching them, and because we've seen it, we've seen the cycle of them losing. That's what we expect. But if they change that and happen to go on a winning streak and shock everybody, I'm not going to.
I'm pretty sure
contain my happiness because of how I felt prior.
I think what happened is we played the Knicks, and I said the Sixers are going to lose 4-2, and then we started doing well, and you guys, like, everyone jumped on me pretty hard, but then they ended up losing 4-2. I was like, sorry.
I don't think I was one of those people.
I think it was Fink. I mean, Fink, his homer tactics are so homerish.
I've figured out. I think Fink.
I don't want them to win.
Fink gets too hyped.
You don't want them to win?
No.
Why not?
You want the draft?
It
You
would
want the
be
option at the
fool's
draft
gold.
lottery?
It would be fool's gold. It would validate whatever they've done this year, which
But wait,
I can't even
when you
understand.
define win what? Like, you don't want them to win a game, a series, the championship. Win what?
Anything. and I
aren't you a
pause-
season ticket holder?
But what do you
I
want?
don't want to spend another $1 on any tickets.
and then some season
I
ticket
just
guy's
think
gonna be
that
like, "Yo,
Mark is a
come on
season
back next year."
ticket
He's gonna be like,
ticket.
okay.
I already renewed, but this season
got
has
him.
been a
They got-
disgrace
Sucker.
on so many levels, and I don't want it to be validated in any way. Honestly, the fact that they are even given that this team with this makeup after this season is somehow above 500 and given a chance to make the real playoffs.
There's
is
15
insane
teams
to me.
tanking.
Insane to me.
What do you want?
It's by
though?
default.
So here's the thing. I get what you're saying.
Clear them out. Don't
Clear
let their
what
schedule
out?
get in the way of the Flyers.
Clear
The
them out of the
X
building.
box, whatever it's called, belongs to the Flyers. Get them out.
Yeah, but the problem is I just don't think you like it. It doesn't seem like a situation where there's the possibility for dramatic change, right? So it's like I feel like you're destined to
Yeah, you're stuck,
have the
dude.
same thing
You're stuck
happen.
in-
I can
in the
understand if you're
middle.
like blow it up, rebuild. I don't think they can even do that. So I think you're screwed. But with good renewal by you, what do they
yeah,
offer
I
you
see
for that?
tonight?
But
Oh,
they-
look,
they
Allen
got
Iverson's
him-
in the house.
They got him during the season too. Like, he didn't just like renew at the beginning of the year. He was adamant, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And they finally got to him like half of the way through the season, and you already renewed for next year.
They got me.
You
Well,
stood
he's
on
the
your-
kind of
Look how
guy.
jaded our fan base is. Allen Iverson's there. He stands up. No one even stands up and cheers.
Yeah, they were all
Well,
cheering him.
they do that every other game.
I know,
He's
but
always there.
Yeah, because then he's an ambassador for the team or something.
I mean, I love him.
All right. Well, I want to get back to the main focus of the program because it is Meech's birthday. There are a lot of people that care about Meech. some of whom
There's
couldn't.
like 7 or 8 people that care about me.
And Meech today, he didn't want to retweet any of the things that we put out because he thought it would look like he wanted people to say happy birthday to him, which I realized was pretty. That's right, and we put him in a tough
It's
spot.
intuitive.
Listen, it's not a tough spot, and it's me being weird. But
No,
I don't
that's you
like
being Meech. That's what makes you awesome, dude. And
Yeah, I don't
I've
like,
told the story. Listen, sorry to cut you
asking
off.
for. And listen, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Maybe if you enjoy people, like,
It's my birthday.
I think it's cool getting texts all day from people I haven't heard of in 6 months. Happy birthday, then you get in a comment. That's nice. But when it's on Twitter and it's cool. But I don't want everybody to come say happy birthday to me because it's just weird.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to get real uncomfortable for you.
I wouldn't have minded it, but it's not something that I would have asked for or brought on myself.
Tom, what were you going to say?
You're not going to solicit it, but that's what makes Meech Meech. And I've told this story 100 times. That speaks to the character and the code by which Meech lives. Meech isn't one of those guys that calls and says, "Hey, you happen to you in West Philly today at the Federal Donuts? I was thinking about stopping by this afternoon." Now, Meech is the kind of guy that goes in, buys 2, and then shoots you the text afterwards and says, "Yo, I got 2 more sandwiches, man. These are banging. I'm walking down Sansom Street." And that is what always made Meech.
He's trying to support my guys. I'm not looking for handouts.
Noted. Beautiful. Yeah.
No pickle.
I don't think I've ever done that. Hopefully. I have asked you for stuff for a lot of events before.
No, that's different. That's
good
different.
call.
No, Jesse, you do it too. You told me after the fact at a unnamed location.
I just bought a chicken sandwich the other day.
Yeah.
And some tenders for the boy, which are of a much higher quality than any other tenders available. So, that's how we roll. Listen, I didn't. Now you got me sidetracked. I was at the Phillies game. My son. We're sitting there. I got him some food. We're sitting there. I told you guys I didn't know what I wanted to eat next. This was after I had the sandwich. There's these girls sitting next to me who come in with a full mango and 2 crab fries. And they're like eating. Next thing I know, I look up. They're sitting. They came back and they're sitting in the row behind us. There was like a lot of room, but they're full pizzas sitting there. And the fries are like half eaten. And I'm like, I'm this close to being like, you guys not want this pizza? But obviously I didn't. And then they ended up taking it. But I'm just looking at this thing the whole time. It was staring at me through the little window.
Yeah,
I gotta say the
enticing,
pizza quality that we had the game we were at, Meech, it was very high quality.
Yeah, it was. They did a much better job this year. And do you guys remember the pizza that I brought home for the Twins?
Yes.
Yeah.
I ate half of it in traffic on the
course
way
you
home.
did.
Like it's stuck
staring
in
at you
traffic.
through the window.
Yeah, and it's peeking at me through that window, and I'm like, damn. I'm so
I would
kinda
like
hungry.
to get, if anybody's listening to this, and I'm just curious on this. So if you hear this and want to send us a message on social media or however, I'm really interested in what people's go-to approach to a Phillies game is. Like my buddy Rich, he's going to eat 6 or 7 hot dogs minimum. That's his program.
Maybe 8 or 9.
Like what do you eat when? And I know there's a lot of factors there, but I'm interested in the whole thing. If you're going with your kids, if you're going with your friends, because I actually took a lap like around the whole stadium. I was like checking out all the different options. Shake Shack is gone, right? Did you notice that? Yeah.
Wow, I did
Right?
notice
Am I wrong about that? I'm pretty sure it's gone.
You know what? I've never noticed. Like I knew it was there, but I never went in, never cared
Yeah.
about. I've never had Shake Shack. Is it?
Wow,
It's
that's
pretty
surprising.
I mean,
I like it.
I'm
I
sure
always
I'm
start
sure
with
it's good.
peanuts to eat.
Were they at
hot dogs.
CBP? Were they at was Shake
Um,
Shack at CBP?
Yeah, behind
Yeah.
home plate.
Yeah.
And my family, I guess Ben and Danielle have been to a couple games together. I've only been to the one game we went to. They're very into this strawberry stand that opened up. This
Oh my
week.
gosh. Okay. So I'm glad
very into it.
dude, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm walking down
They're
the corridor.
talking about it every day.
I'm walking down the corridor and I'm
Like
looking
they don't
around.
shut up about it.
There's this big ass line. I'm like, what the hell is this for? And I come up and it's for strawberries and chocolate strawberries and whatever, like mixed into a cup. And like there are 100 people lined up waiting for this in the middle of the game.
Like you can't do that yourself with a.
I mean, I'm
Hershey
sure they
syrup
do
and-
it
and
really
grocery
well.
Strawberries.
we're gonna have to try this. Someone's have to report back.
I'm intrigued.
Does anyone know what this is called? If you're
It sounds
watching,
like a scam to me.
no, dude, people freaking love it,
See,
man. It's crazy.
My strategy though is I usually go for the things that don't have the lines that you have to stand in for
right.
3 innings.
So
So
you can miss the least amount of game.
yeah, so
You know what I did?
My when I go with my kid, I don't mean to cut you off. When I go with my kids,
It's your birthday.
I just buy them shit and whatever's, because there's always so much left over, and then I eat that. So I'm just
obviously. All right, Blake. He says they have a stand at Reading Terminal. What are they called, dude? Can we figure that out? I might have to pop over there. Yeah. Well, I didn't want the whole pizza. I wasn't ready for the whole pizza, so I got a hot dog, and actually, it was like at one of the, maybe it's Dietz and Watson. John's. It was a big one.
Yeah.
Like, it was thick. I was happy about it because,
pause.
Hot dog quality
cool.
has gone up and down a few times. All right, so I digressed a little there. We have some celebrities that have sent in messages because they weren't able to be here tonight. They wanted to say hello to Meech. This guy.
I hope it was Black Thought from the Roots.
No, yeah.
No.
Mark thought he could do that for a minute there.
Oh my God.
Jeez, Mark is having problems over there. No. It's Black Gritty.
I like Black Gritty.
This first guy
appropriate
has become just a shooting star in the city, so much so that we rarely see or hear from him. So, he's just had dramatic popularity increase, and his star is shining. So let's look at this message from a guy who's just really on the up and up here. Hopefully it's going to work. Okay, everyone pay attention.
Meech money! It's Fink here. Hey, how you doing, bud? I just want to say happy birthday. I just want to say I love you, man. I think you're a great guy, a wonderful friend, an awesome dad, just an overall top-notch human. And I'm happy to be associated with you, my Meesty boy. I'm just so happy that you're in my life, Meech, and you make my days better. Love you, Meech. Hope you have a great day. Happy birthday.
Love you, Meech. Happy birthday.
Woo! Meech buddy!
Uh-oh.
That's
okay.
quite the B-Day. Sounded a little insincere at times.
Yeah, he was yucking it up a little. We did see there's a little bonus DK audio there at the end. Why can't I get rid of this? What am I doing?
He mailed it in. And to be honest, Jesse, that introduction was a little over the top.
He said he mailed it. Well, it was just fully tongue in cheek, bro.
I'm happy I got to hang out with Fink for a few minutes.
When did you get there? Oh, nice, you mean there?
Right there.
Yeah, it was nice having Fink back on the
seriously.
show. Can't wait to see him. I'm going to give him a big hug when I see him next.
Okay, Blake says it's called Wilts or Willits. Okay. I thought it was like Wizard Without or something like that.
What's
for a
that,
minute.
Wilts Chamberlain?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. All right, so we have another. This guy actually is a bona fide celebrity, and he does really good videos.
It is Wilts.
Oh, okay, is Tom frozen? Do you guys see that? Is everyone frozen? Wait, no. Mark, move. Oh, no, he's moving again. All right. Mark literally just stopped delayed. Moving. I was like, what? I thought he froze up for there.
Blake. I was like, give me Blake.
No, it's not Blake. All right, this guy actually is known for doing great videos because he's got the chops to perform. So,
happy birthday, Trev, too.
Ben Franklin, Kevin Hart, Bradley Cooper, Allen Iverson. I'm sure I'm missing some huge names of some really important Philadelphians, but I say that because none of those names come close to that one name we all know, and that's Meech. The lasting cultural impact of those names is why we remember them, and that's why we remember that one name, Meech. He is synonymous with this town, most notably Northeast Philadelphia. But people know him because of that one name, Meech. And I think it's important to note that the name will not go out of style because the man has had so many children to pass along that lineage. So all that is to say, Mike Meech, you mean so much to the city of Philadelphia. And on your birthday, we say happy birthday.
There you go.
That was heartwarming.
There you go.
Yeah, he's a goddamn professional. That's a
I know. He's good
that's
at
a
that.
newscaster voice right there.
Pat Gallen from
really
CBS
Thank
Philadelphia.
you, Pat
there.
Gallen. Thank you, Eric Fink.
Yeah,
I'm
just
touched.
two moguls, and you remember I was texting with Pat. I was trying to remember what did he say when we did the intro, and he said that Meech had been involved in a scandal, Turkish something. You were gambling on not cricket,
Highlight.
Yeah, he said it was something so obscure. It was so well done. We'll have to pull that up. It's got to be buried in our Instagram.
Two of my
clips or something.
favorite guys right there, Pat
Yeah,
Gallen
good
and Eric
guys.
Fink.
Yeah.
Thank you, fellas.
That's I think that's pretty much all I got. But you know what? Why don't we
That's
just
all I
do
need.
this?
Like, what else? do
Yeah,
I need?
what else you need? Now, Meech, are you excited for the Flyers? Like, you're gonna be super fired up for the playoffs. Are you gonna go out of your way to like do anything for the games, or what's your plan?
Well, yeah, like I said, I'm going to be in
Oh, you're in
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh.
for
Duh.
game one.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm not driving home
Okay.
listening. Well, I wouldn't mind driving home and listening to it on the radio, but I'd rather be
What do you mean
Saturday
driving
night
home, like driving home
from Pittsburgh because I don't know.
How long is the tournament.
It's all weekend.
Okay,
Friday
so-
he's got two. It's a guaranteed 3 games. Friday he's
Okay.
got 2 games.
So we think the playoffs will start Saturday?
we don't. It's either
I
Saturday
think they'll
or
be
Sunday.
prime time Saturday or Sunday. I mean,
Okay, so if the
Pittsburgh,
game is
Philly-
Saturday,
My
and-
dream scenario would be the game is Saturday night and doesn't conflict with any of my son's basketball games.
okay, and if that's the case, are you going to try to go?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah,
So, okay,
we need you in the building.
Yeah, I think you should go. Do we need to like? We can all chip in.
Me.
Yeah, we'll chip in to send you there. I think that's fair.
Go fund
I
me.
agree.
That's a business expense. Okay,
I'm with
question: Do you have anything that you can wear to the game? If you
Yeah,
go?
yeah.
What do you
I
have?
got the Jimmy Garecki Flyers.
The hell's that? Which one?
You don't remember the
No.
Flyers collab he did?
No.
All right. Well, I got you something because I think
Ah,
I think if you're gonna go to the game, you're gonna have to wear this.
gotta represent. Check that out. A brand new
Now,
Meech.
The best part is-
Meech,
I got him a MEECHkov jersey. But the best part is there's a tag obscuring something. It's the Fanatics logo.
I'll see if I can peel that off.
You know, I was thinking
I
of
think
it
you
off
have to
or
wear
something.
it backwards so that that's on the front.
Maybe I'll grow a ponytail so it covers it.
I was actually going to write over it in permanent marker, but I'll just let you decide. But I thought this was a nice item. It's
That is a nice
black.
item.
Very nice. I
Yeah, so
appreciate
You're
it.
going to have to wear that, dude.
This,
Meech.
this is going to be worn in Pittsburgh to annoy all the Penguins fans.
There you go.
Jesse,
Actually,
thanks,
yo,
man.
happy birthday. I should have gone to the mall where you can get them to make anything and gotten the spelling changed. To
No,
MEECHkov.
then that would have
MEECHkov.
just confused people who were
Yeah.
looking at me, and I would have had to explain
Yeah.
myself.
And then Mark, I think you had you got something for us over here too to celebrate Meech's
I
birthday.
do. I do.
And Tom, you're missing out on a cake from the Acme. You know what I mean?
the
So,
best. The
No,
sheet cake
there's
from the
nothing wrong with
Acme.
camera.
ShopRite cakes,
Now.
Acme cakes, Sam's Club cakes.
Show the camera.
Undefeated.
Get a good angle.
Undefeated.
Oh, you gotta turn it up a little bit. Turn it up a little bit. Okay.
Meech,
So here's the thing.
happy birthday.
Meech and I talked about this, and I want it.
because it already said happy birthday on it, and then they just put Meech.
wherever
Okay.
they want it. Yeah,
So it's funny.
they probably didn't think it was a person.
we were looking at it, and just so everyone understands what we're talking about, it says like happy birthday across the bottom, and
Just
then
a generic old.
Meech is written up the top. And I said they should have put a comma, so it was Meech, comma, happy birthday.
It's even 2 different color green.
Yeah. That icing looks
Icing.
very toxic. But
I
we're
gotta
gonna
say
eat
though,
it.
they like. I'm a big. I don't know about you guys. Like, there's all these like foo cakes these days. I'm a big fan of just your basic sheet cake.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What does
It's-
sheet
it's-
mean?
Sheet.
Acme.
That's
Just
a
a-
sheet
just
cake.
a
That's a
sheet
half
cake.
a sheet.
Yeah.
And
What's on the inside?
You gotta look on the label.
Is that vanilla?
It looks like a chocolate to me.
Yeah. Oh, it's chocolate on the inside? All right.
I forget.
We're gonna
It
find out,
doesn't
baby.
say.
I'm excited about it.
You gotta cut in to find out.
I'm
Yeah,
excited about
it's
it.
a surprise. It might be half and half.
Meech kids, stay up. Dad'll be home with cake.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Someone tell the Twins on their way home. All right, let's check the Phillies score. Oh my gosh, it's 10
Did
to
you
1.
not check yet?
No, I've been locked.
Oh.
Tom, I'm focused.
It
I
was
can't look.
5-1 last time I looked.
Double up.
We're locked in on the
Double up.
playoff in game.
Play often. Dude, 10 to 1? What the frick is going on? Man, I hope the Phillies don't end up sucking all the time. It's not going to happen, right? They'll be okay.
They got to be okay.
Some
How about Meech and
freaking-
Trev shared a birthday? Is there two more worthy stalwarts of?
No, we were
Awesome.
trying to get Trev down here, but you know,
I mean, it's
I get
kind
it.
of
I'm not-
you
I'm
know
not-
karmic that on Jackie Robinson night the Phillies suck, right?
I don't
he went
know.
there. He went there.
I mean,
What's the reason?
Sorry.
Call them out. Call them out, Mark.
yeah. Should I be wearing my Jackie Robinson?
There you
Phillies
go.
Hat.
Yes, you
Like,
should.
is that-
It's an appropriate day for that? Why wouldn't you?
Is
be
that
doing
ironic?
Don't you think it is? Well, it was nice to have someone's birthday on the day that we're going to actually do the episode. I don't know that we've done that before.
Yeah, I think this is a City Pigeons first.
Yeah,
we
it's
did
gonna be a big
mine
deal.
down the shore, but you forgot all about it. It was just maybe 5 months ago.
Oh yeah,
That was a hell of a
fun.
time. Yeah.
that was.
It was a
we
long
just-
time ago.
I think we just got so trashed that night that
Yeah.
we kind of forgot.
That was really fun.
Yeah, that was a good time.
We had a good crew.
That was much better than tonight.
and you know what?
The only reason I remember that is because I mean I remember it. It was memorable. It was amazing. I thank you all. But today, when I was driving around with Ben, he actually said to me, he goes, "Oh, is the podcast always on Meech's birthday? Did you do that on purpose?" And I said, "It just happens to be on a Wednesday." And he goes, "Well, I don't think that there's ever been another podcast on a birthday, but you had it on your birthday." And I then went back there. And
so it was actually
Ben's
Ben
the
that
City
remembered.
Pigeons historian.
he is.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
I mean,
like
look,
that
here's
shit.
the thing. We've been pretty variable with our timing. So if we need to adjust for people's birthdays, we can. I was on my way to Costa Rica almost or something. I was in Lancaster for a basketball tournament. That's right. So I couldn't have a podcast. I couldn't throw my own podcast birthday party. So I threw one for you, Meech.
Well, gentlemen, I appreciate it.
Yep. And you know what we're going to do to celebrate? The same thing we do every time these finish. I'm going to pack this stuff up while everybody kind of stands around and watches whatever.
I just don't want to ruin any of your shit, man.
Yeah, no.
I just noticed, and I,
I
just
didn't
have
mean it
I have a
like
question for you guys. So the Warriors Clippers is the other playoff-in game tonight.
Yes.
For some reason, just as a fan of hoops, that has a lot more cachet than the Magic Sixers. Is that true, or am I just being a hater?
It is because they have guys on the team who are legit superstars who could probably win against a number one seed. But in the grand scheme of things, no.
But aren't
it
they all
doesn't matter.
hurt?
Okay.
Is
Kawhi's playing, Steph's playing.
oh, okay. Yeah,
James
listen,
Harden.
If
Oh,
I'm
no.
barely paying attention to the
That's true.
Sixers, you know I'm not paying attention to the rest of the NBA.
You know,
so.
James Harden's not on the Clippers anymore.
I know. I was kidding.
All right. Well, I don't know where we go from here. We're gonna have to find something.
Where do we go?
We got to
Where
find
do we
something
go
to route.
now?
Meech is feeling the birthday
Downtown.
vibes. He's singing Guns N' Roses. I like that. What's next week, guys? Anybody got a birthday? I seriously don't. Well, we'll have
Next
playoff
week we'll
hockey
be
on.
Anybody got a
Flyers
birthday?
games in. We'll be
Flyers
Flyers
games.
games in.
Phillies hold their head. Draft. When's
I
the
think
draft?
Fink's birthday's in a
So
few
the draft
weeks.
is next Thursday.
Okay.
Are we gonna
Fink
try
Kuiper?
and take it on the road to Murph's, or is that a heavy lift at this point?
I don't know, man. Those days might be over, man. I
Okay.
just don't know if I have.
Should
that
we
in me.
invite Murph here?
We could, but
Should we invite the entire bar here?
we're like, Murph, could you come? But also bring a case of Guinness and tacos from Taqueria
And maybe a Billy
Cresta.
Burger.
Yeah. Nah, who knows, man? We can talk about it. Anything's on the table, but we have historically done our draft show with and tried to get Fink to do his Mel Kiper. So
What do you think the odds are?
Not
Meech,
good.
You're our resident handicapper. What is the line on Fink doing Fink Kuiper next Thursday night live on the City Pigeons podcast?
Listen, at this point, I think the odds of getting Fink on the show are at like 8%. So to
Yeah.
get him to do
Oh.
Fink Kuiper, I think we're down to like the 8.09%. It's not looking good, though.
it'd be great if he came back with authority, and reclaimed his rightful position. But
He should.
He could come back fully as Fink Kuiper, and we'd be like, well, Fink wasn't even on the podcast. It was Fink Kuiper.
that would be good. I'll be supporting that.
The Eagles pick
23rd.
be a late night for us.
That's right. Think about that.
Hopefully they trade up and draft that tight end from Oregon.
We'll be watching the Trace Mack, although it's going to be
That'll be on Saturday.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Well, we'll figure it out one way or the other. And everybody, thanks for joining in for Meech's birthday. If you want to send him a special message online, feel free.
I'm having my birthday party this Saturday at Chuck E. Cheese in the Northeast behind Tower Records.
But in all seriousness, if anybody wants to gift him 2 tickets to Game 1 in Pittsburgh, please reach out.
Meech must.
Me and my son would be much appreciative.
Be there. Keith says, "Happy birthday, Meech, the OG Neasty boy." That's
My
right.
man,
The
Keith.
Neasties. Neasties are the best. We love the Neasties. All right. We're ending early tonight because we
Wait,
got
is
to get
Keith
to the
going to be
post.
there? Keith? No, Keith, he'll be at the game. He probably has your +1, Meech.
No.
No, if the game was in like Okinawa, he would probably
Canada?
be there. He only travels overseas to go to sporting events.
True.
What is it? The Russian league, the KBL, the
KHL, yeah. He doesn't do
So if
domestic.
you're in,
KHL
if you're in
finals this
Pittsburgh
year.
this weekend, hit me up, bro.
We got to get you in this game. We got to find a way. We got to start a campaign. Let's get Meech to PPG Arena.
Meech.
Game 1.
I mean, listen, let's see what the schedule is, and because I might not be able to make it. So
Listen, send us the schedule as soon as it comes out.
Yo,
I looked again. It's
at
not going to come out till
Flyers.
tomorrow night after the West Coast games.
I want to know the basketball schedule so we know if we have anything to work with. All right, Meech, enjoy your trip. We expect
I'm
you
gonna
to go
try.
to the game, and you need to be harassing Pittsburgh fans throughout the weekend. Can you do that?
I mean, that's a given. I would have done that if the Flyers weren't even in the goddamn playoffs. It's one of my favorite things to do.
And eat a Permane Brothers while you're out there, but go to one of the original spots.
I know where they are. My son went to Duquesne for 4
We'll
years. I've
compare
been to
notes.
every.
I want to get your.
Don't tell
opinion
him
on the
about
Permane
Pittsburgh.
Brothers.
I'm not a Permane Brothers fan.
No?
I've tried it, but
Not a fan.
I'll
Yeah.
choke on that for sure.
you know what I love in Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh has
Hey.
a shitload
Yo.
of burger bars where you go in there and they give you like a card, right? And you just check off what you want in your burger, and you just hand them
Pickles.
in their card. Like I don't know. It's I never saw it before, and all those spots have like really good wings too. They're pretty cool. You can't get a bad one. They're up and down. What's that? High Street or what's
The
that?
Hill District.
What's that main street where all the stores and restaurants?
I was
are?
just there recently, and I can't remember. I went
I
last
think
summer.
it leads to University of Pittsburgh.
I really enjoyed Pittsburgh last summer. Represent Pennsylvania.
Listen, my son went to Duquesne for 4 years.
Yeah.
I loved going
That's
down
true.
there. man.
Beat 'em Bucks.
Cool town.
All right. Well,
It's
not
a crazy. It's the
not this
the most,
weekend.
The most hilly city I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
It is. It really is.
What fascinated me about that is I would look at houses, and it would be like almost a quarter mile from the bottom to the. I go, how do they get furniture in there? How do they bring groceries up these steps? If it snows, like you're in your house.
Oh, yeah,
You'd have to
can't go
sled
anywhere.
down there and then hike back up to get into your house.
Well, people in Manayunk have a similar situation. Can you
But
imagine
no,
that?
it's not nearly as bad as Pittsburgh. This is like the weirdest construction, the weirdest houses. It's a I love it.
That's enough about Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
we
So
hate
let's
Pittsburgh.
beat their ass. Crosby,
Suck,
Malkin.
Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, you suck. Even though your city's
I
kind of
like
cool.
Pittsburgh.
Like
enough to go there and tell them they all suck.
you guys suck, but your town's kind of fun to be in. And we like Pennsylvania.
And I like those burger bars where you check
Yeah.
off
I
one.
I love your burger bars. All right.
Hand it to the waitress.
Happy birthday, Meech.
Me.
Go Flyers.
Meech.
Go Sixers, Phillies.
47 years old.
I'm
Woo.
scared.
Jesus Christ.
Good night.